7.1, number 11. Acceleration due to the Earth. Gravity is 32 feet per second squared. From ground level, a projectile is fired straight upward with a velocity 90 feet per second. What's the velocity after 3 seconds? And so on. Alright, so we need a velocity equation. We already know acceleration is 32, and it's actually negative 32 because it's accelerating downward, gravity is. So finding the antiderivative, so velocity would be negative 32t plus c. And in order to find out what c is, we need an initial value. And we know when the time is 0, our velocity is 90 because of our initial value, our initial velocity. So 90 equals negative 32 times c plus c, or times 0 plus c, so c is 90. So our velocity equation is negative 32t plus 90. Alright, so what's our velocity at 3 seconds? Negative 96, so negative 6 feet per second, looks like. Part B, when does it hit the ground? So we know it hits the ground when its height or position is 0, and we don't have a position or a height equation yet, so finding an antiderivative of v would be, okay, call it s of t equals negative 16t squared plus 90t plus c. And our initial values is when time is 0, our position is 0, so then c is going to end up being 0. So our position equation is this, and we want to know when it hits the ground, so set it equal to 0 and solve for t, and that'll be when it hits the ground. I'm going to pull out a t. So we know it's 0, and we can set this one equal to 0 also. So t would be, is that 5? So when does it hit the ground? 5 seconds. Net distance, well, it went up and it went back down, so the net distance would be 0. So net distance same as displacement, so 0 feet. And then lastly, the total distance, so it did go all the way up and then it went all the way down. So we would need to know how high it went, and double it would be the total distance. So how high did it go? Well, we know that the velocity equation is this, and at the peak our velocity is 0, so we can find the time it took to reach the highest point. So t equals 90 divided by 32. What's that? 45/16, 15. Oh, I don't know. Can't do that in my head. So let's see if I have a decimal here. 5.625. So we can find its position at 5.625. So s of 5.625 will be where it's at, how high it is. Looks like it's plugging that into the S equation, 253.125 feet. Nope, that's doubled, so I'm just trying to look at some notes here. So 126.56 times 2 gives you the total distance of 253.125.